not optimistic. They are at their wits' end.
Anyone who has any information.
The missing woman is Connie Royce.
What do you think happened?
I think there's some foul play here.
Welcome to Morbid, Michigan. Today, I'm going to be talking about something more serious than usual. A woman walked out of a popular bar in Mount Clemens, Michigan, 30 years ago, and she has never been seen or heard from since. Today, I'm going to try to retrace her steps. And the purpose of this is to, of course, bring attention to an unsolved missing persons case, because I believe that the internet is a really powerful tool to help bring attention to old cold cases and maybe even help families find answers or even find the person. There are a few resources, but not too many, on YouTube of people talking about this case. One of them is LordanARTS Uncovered, and the other one is the Already Gone podcast. So let's get started. First, let's begin with some background. Connie Lynn Royce is classified as endangered missing on the Doe Network. And it all started when Connie met a man named Greg. He's been cleared as a suspect, and police have said that he was a very, good person to work with, and he was very active in helping to try to find Connie. But it all started when she met him at a bar on Memorial Day weekend in 1990, and the two got along really well, and they decided they wanted to hang out again. Greg lived with his roommate in Sterling Heights, and Connie lived with her parents in Madison Heights. They didn't live too far away from each other, so Connie drove over to Greg and the roommate, whose name we don't know. She drove over to their apartment in her light blue 1980 Chevy Citation on Friday, June 1st, 1990. And the group of three were having some beers together, and they decided they wanted to go to one of the more popular bars in the area. This brings us to the Hayloft Bar, where we're standing at right now. It's an empty lot right now. It's vacant. It's been torn down for a couple of years. But back in 1990, when Connie went missing, it was poppin'. Any night of the week, there was bound to be a crowd. We're at 140 North Main Street. And on the night that Connie disappeared, there's actually surveillance video of when she entered the bar and when she left, which was pretty rare back in the 1990s for them to have a security camera in there, but we're very lucky to have this piece of evidence. And you can see Connie right there, behind those two guys. I'm pretty sure the guy with the gray shirt is Greg, and the white must be his roommate. And things seem fine. She looks all good, everyone seems happy. They got to the bar around 10 o'clock that night, and according to staff at the bar, everyone was acting normal. There was no fights or anything. They all seemed to be having a perfectly fine night. At around 10:50, Greg went to the bathroom, and while he was gone, Connie said to his roommate, "I have to get out of here," and she left, leaving behind her purse. And you can see her leaving on the security cameras. She's carrying her shoes, and she stumbles into the wall pretty hard. And that looked like that had to hurt. And that is the last verified glimpse that anyone has had of 24-year-old Connie Lynn Royce. One of the podcasts that I was listening to says that it's suspicious that Connie left while Greg was in the bathroom.
The timing of it's curious, considering that Greg is in the bathroom, and then that's when she decides to leave. Andrea, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, something about that really strikes me too, because it's almost like she waited till he wasn't at the table anymore to leave. Maybe she was thinking that he would follow after her, or that she really just wanted to make sure that she wasn't with him when she left.
So John, the host of this podcast, suggests that if Connie was feeling sick, and that was the reason why she left, she could have just gone to the bathroom, and that she would have known where the bathroom was because that's where Greg had just gone to. But I don't think that that necessarily might have been true. And I'm going off of what people who actually went to this bar in the 90s have said. So the layout of the bar was kind of confusing. So if she were at a booth or a table, she would have had to go up around a bunch of people near the stage to go to the bathroom. And first off, that would already be kind of stressful to have to go in front of a big crowd when you're clearly pretty drunk. And second, there could have been a line for the bathroom, which nobody wants to have to wait for that if they're about to throw up. So it might have been easier for her at that moment to go just quickly out the same door that she came in if she felt like she was about to be sick. Let's replay when she came in. It kind of seemed like she was following behind the two guys, not looking very confident as she came in of exactly where she was going. I don't think that she knew the Hayloft Bar that well. I know that she met Greg at a bar that Memorial Day weekend, but it might not have necessarily been the Hayloft. So I can't really speculate exactly why Connie chose to leave the bar the way that she did, so abruptly, leaving behind her purse and her shoes, but I'm more than happy to hear anybody's theories, and of course, if you really know anything, you should call the Macomb County Sheriff's Detectives Bureau at 586-307-9358. So I do think that Connie did intend to come back into the bar that night, because when she left, she didn't have her purse with her, she didn't have her shoes on, and she didn't even have her car with her, so how would she have gotten back home? So that was the last time that Connie was seen, that we know of. And Greg, he came back to the table, and him and his friends start asking around the bar, trying to figure out where she went. They look around, and the bar staff confirmed it. They were asking around, trying to find her, and they ended up staying at the bar until the bar closed, and they said that they were waiting for her to come back, but she just never did. Both Greg and his roommate were cleared by police, and they're not under suspicion or anything. In fact, police said that they were very forthcoming. They went to the police Saturday because they were worried about Connie because they hadn't seen or heard from her. But her family didn't officially report her missing until Monday. But that Saturday, when the guys first came to the police started asking around businesses in the area to see if they had seen any girls that might have matched Connie's description. Now, it's not here anymore, but there was a Domino's Pizza not far from the Hayloft. And when police were going around asking people if they saw anyone who looked like Connie, the employees that were working that night say that they saw a woman who matched her description using the payphone outside the pizza place. But the thing is, Connie was just wearing her little dress. It doesn't look like it had pockets in it, and she didn't have her purse. So how would she have made a call on the payphone? Well, back in the 90s, you could have made a collect call at a payphone, which is where you dial in the number, and the phone company asks the person you're calling if they will pay for your call. They can choose whether to accept or decline. But the thing is, and this was brought up by Nina from the Already Gone podcast, collect calls could not be tracked.
Again, while police tried to get call records from the payphone, they were unable to track calls that Connie could have made. And it's my understanding that collect calls may not have been tracked by Michigan Bell back in 1990.
So if Connie did make a collect call and had somebody come pick her up, or, if she made a call at all, the phone company would not have been able to give that information to the police. And when the police did try to track the phone records, they did not find anything that would indicate that Connie made a call, unless it was a collect call. Now that brings us to our next location, the Clinton River. Which is where some people think Connie may have fallen in and drowned. Now this theory is my least favorite because I think it's just the least likely. The Hayloft Bar was like a block down and across the street, so she would have had to walk a good ways and then made her way down this hill all the way just to get to the river. And why would she have done that? I don't think in her state of mind that she was thinking that she wanted to take a walk along the river, even if she was drunk. In the video, it looked like she was having a pretty hard time walking, so I also don't think that she could have made that long of a hike down here without falling or tripping. It just seems very unlikely to me. Plus, Nina from the Already Gone podcast brought up a really good point. Divers searched the river, so if she had fallen in, it's pretty unlikely that they would have missed her. Plus, it was springtime, so there was a lot of people on the water, in the water, so it seems unlikely that if she had just fallen in, that nobody would have found her. So let's get back to Connie's story. Who was, or is, Connie Royce? She was a business school student, and her maiden name was Bostic. She'd actually been divorced not long before she disappeared. It was a short marriage, and then after the divorce, she started living with another guy for a pretty short time. But they broke up, and the breakup was pretty messy. They had a loud argument, and police came to their home. Nobody was arrested or anything, and both the ex-husband and the ex-boyfriend were questioned and then cleared by police because they had good alibis, and they apparently weren't in the area at the time that she went missing. if I had to make an assumption about Connie, I would say that maybe she married a high school sweetheart or something at a pretty young age. So by this time, she was only 24. She was trying to get back out there, but I don't really think she had a whole lot of experience going out and clubbing and stuff like that. Just based on her body language in the surveillance video, she seemed kind of shy and kind of uncertain as she entered that club atmosphere, which was very loud and very chaotic. So I think that it's possible that she was drunk very quickly, because I heard in the Already Gone podcast that she had had 4 drinks and she also had some beers. So that's a lot of alcohol to consume in a relatively short span of time. And Connie was about 5'2" and 115 pounds, which is pretty close to my build, and I know for a fact that if I were to drink that much in that short span of a time, I would probably be pretty drunk. So I think that the way that she was walking as she was exiting the bar pretty well matches up to the amount of alcohol per body size, per the situation. Some people say that it's possible that she may have gotten roofied at the bar, and I can't rule that out entirely, but I do say that drinking like she did in pretty quick succession would have gotten her drunk enough to where she would have been stumbling as she exited the bar. So I don't think that it's, too crazy to assume that she was just drunk and not roofied. Also, it doesn't make a lot of sense if it was the guys that she was with to roofie her, because why would they have her at their apartment, take her out to the bar, roofie her, bring her back? That doesn't make sense for the usual purposes that people roofie people for. And also, it doesn't make a lot of sense for someone at the bar to give her, drugs, because she's with 2 other guys. It seems unlikely that they think, oh yeah, I'm going to steal her away. I don't think so. In conclusion, I don't think that any of the guys that Connie had been around had anything to do with this. I don't know for certain, but I tend to think that this was a crime of opportunity. I think that somebody saw her while she was outside and saw an opportunity to do something bad. If you or someone that you know anything about this, please don't hesitate to call the Macomb County Sheriff's Department. If you want to see more content like this, please comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more true crime stuff, or more cryptozoology stuff, or going out and investigating. Morbid, Michigan is about all this stuff and hopefully helping people, like in this case. Anyway, as always, have a grave day.